Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
Number 9, man. I'm gonna be ready and hype. That's just gonna be hype. My banner gonna be up right next to my brothers, Zebo, Big Spain. It's a great feeling, man. Never imagined this. I didn't think this would ever be a thing, and it's one of the biggest days of my life. I'm looking forward to it.
Anticipate each challenge, make a quick response, capitalize on every opportunity, and win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
What's up, y'all? Welcome into the Gary Parrish Show. Bennett Doyle filling in today here inside the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum. Got GP on the line live from NYC. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Glad best you can. I tried, GP. I hope y'all are ready to talk some hoops. It is a massive day, massive weekend here in Memphis and around the country. Grizzlies going to be back in action tonight. They're taking on the team with the best record in the NBA, the Cleveland Cavaliers. And we've also got conference tournaments going on all day today. Tigers tipping off at noon in Fort Worth. They're taking on Wichita State, kicking off AAC tournament play. And we're going to talk about all of it. Jessica Benson going to join me. Devin Walker is going to join me in the next segment. But first, I got GP. He is live in NYC. And we'll get to the big game tonight here at FedEx Forum. I tried with the intro. It was close.
What I think I hear you saying is, man, you make it look so easy, GP, but when you actually try it, it's not as easy as it sounds.
Yeah, it's not as easy as it sounds. Yeah, you make that look easy. Okay, so we're going to get to the big game tonight, like I said. But it's obviously a massive weekend in college basketball. You got conference tournaments going on all day. Selection Sunday is 2 days away. And I think I want to start with the biggest story from yesterday, which is Cooper Flagg, consensus #1 overall pick in the upcoming NBA draft. He turns his ankle in Duke's game versus Georgia Tech, leaves the game in a wheelchair. Duke wins the game, but, I think it's likely John Shire kind of hinted that he's probably not going to play in the ACC tournament the rest of the way. And his status for the NCAA tournament next week may be up in the air at this point. There have been rumblings about him potentially returning to Duke for a second season. Most people still think he's going to go pro. Does this injury to Cooper Flagg change anything about what he's going to do after the college basketball season?
No, he will be in the NBA draft. And if anything, this just sort of reinforces why you need to be in the NBA draft, because your health is not guaranteed. This is not as bad as it could have been, because it could have been a fractured ankle. It's not. It's a sprain. But this will be the type of thing that makes him even more sure he needs to be in the 2025 NBA draft as opposed to do another year of college basketball. As for what it means for Duke, it's not good, but we have to wait and see how his ankle responds. Bennett, we both work for an NBA franchise that has ankle sprains all the time. We're well versed in how this stuff works. And just know if he were a Grizzly, and I don't mean this as a criticism, I want to be very clear. I mean this as just like a statement of fact. If Jaren Jackson Jr. or Ja Morant or anybody fell like that last night in a game, they would immediately be assumed out for at least a week. And the status report would probably say something like ankle sprain, left ankle sprain, will be evaluated on a week-to-week basis. So there's no chance Cooper Flagg plays tonight. Frankly, even if he was healthy enough to do it, because at this point, Duke has locked up the number one seed in the NCAA, number one seed in the NCAA tournament. And I don't want to say there's nothing to play for because it's the ACC tournament championship. Yeah. Like you can't hold these things and then say they don't matter. So it is something to play for, but it's not important enough to play if you were anything less than 100%. So now the question becomes, when can he be close enough to 100% to where it's reasonable to put him out there again? And one good news for Duke is that they're probably going to start the NCAA tournament in Raleigh. As you know, all of these locations have different schedules. Some are Thursday, Saturday. Some are Friday, Sunday. Raleigh happens to be Friday, Sunday. That would give him an extra day. So if you don't play until Friday in Raleigh, then from the moment Cooper Flagg injured his ankle to the moment he would need to play in the first round of the NCAA tournament, you could have 7 full days in between. And if you wanted to hold him out for that round of 64 game and just look at your team and say, guys, if you can't beat a 16 seed without Cooper Flagg, shame on you. Yep. And don't want to bring him back to the round of 32, then you could have 9 full days between injury and time to play again. That's probably not as much time as you would like, but Duke is working on a schedule here, and this is a thing you never get back. Like, even when we watch Ja Morant have to miss playoff games, you can always in that moment go, this sucks, but, next year's a new year, and we'll try again next year. There is no try again next season with Cooper Flagg, with this team. This is one shot. This is all you get. So I do believe he will play again, but I do not think we'll see him play again in Charlotte, and we might not see him play again until the round of 32.
They're obviously going to play North Carolina tonight. That's a big game. North Carolina beats Wake Forest yesterday. So we do get Duke, North Carolina tonight, primetime on ESPN. No Cooper Flagg takes a little air out of it, but we know the recent success that UNC's had against Duke in the postseason. This is a pretty massive game for Hubert Davis tonight, right? Even without Cooper Flagg playing for Duke.
No question. North Carolina is playing for its NCAA tournament life. Yeah. Right now, the Tar Heels are 1-11 in Quadrant 1. Incredibly, that still puts them on the bubble. But according to Jerry Palm, at least, they're on the wrong side of the bubble right now. So just based off current projections, it's reasonable to assume North Carolina needs to beat Duke tonight. Beat Duke tonight, they're probably in the field. Lose to Duke tonight, probably not in the field. So North Carolina, the stakes are obvious. For Duke, that's another thing to play for. This is a program, remember, that lost Coach K's final home game at Cameron Indoor to North Carolina, and then lost in the Final Four to North Carolina that same year. So this is or lost, maybe it was in the Elite Eight that same year, but lost in the NCAA tournament to Carolina in that same year. So they've ruined some big stuff for you in recent years, and you have a chance to ruin something for them. So maybe Cooper Flagg doesn't play. Maybe the ACC tournament isn't the biggest prize, but you can force your biggest rival to watch the NCAA tournament, theoretically, by beating them today. So absolutely, fun game in Charlotte.
Ole Miss beats Arkansas yesterday, 83-80, off of game-winning three-pointer in the second round of the SEC tournament. Ole Miss is going to take on Auburn today at noon in the quarterfinal. As for Arkansas, are the Hogs safely in the field of 68 after that South Carolina win, or are they going to have to sweat it out on Selection Sunday?
Well, they're going to have to sweat it out, and it doesn't matter what bracket you look at. I think they're probably okay. Most brackets suggest they're probably okay. But I just had this conversation with Matt Norland on the Eye on College Basketball podcast. Like, we get into these conversations like, if I'm just trying to think of one that's relevant today. Boise State is playing New Mexico today on CBS Sports Network, Mountain West Conference semifinals. The prevailing thought, if you look at most brackets, is that Boise State is probably in as of this moment, but also probably needs to win today to feel good about itself on Selection Sunday, because if you don't win today, you lose today, so your resume goes backwards, and the bubble typically shrinks the closer we get to Selection Sunday. So you will hear all sorts of people, myself included, on television today saying things like, if Boise State doesn't win, they're not going to be in. And the truth is, we're just basing that opinion on brackets we're seeing. We don't have any, I mean, we do have an idea, but the committee could already be at a place where they're like, no, we are interpreting Boise State's resume better than you're interpreting Boise State's resume, and they're already safe. They're already going to end up in, win or lose. So just keep that in mind when we're talking about these things. But yes, in theory, it feels like Arkansas is probably going to be in the NCAA tournament, but you can't feel safe right now because you're so close to the cut line. And just because Jerry Palm sees you one way doesn't necessarily mean the committee will see you another. They, Palm, Lenardi, all of them, are going to be right about 68, 67, sometimes even 68 times out of 68 possibilities. So if they don't have you in, that is an area of concern. And if they do have you in, that's a reason to feel optimistic. But my point is this, they do miss sometimes. And Arkansas could be one of the teams they miss on. Absolutely.
Yeah, another team, another big-time program on the bubble. A couple more college basketball questions for you. I think probably the best game of the afternoon yesterday was Texas A&M in the double overtime game. I think most people would say that was the best game yesterday. Rodney Terry's hot seat perhaps cools off a little bit. Did Texas's win over A&M punch their ticket, or do they still have work to do in the SEC tournament?
Again, circling back to what I just said, we don't know for sure, but based off of current brackets, let's just go to Jerry Palm because that's my colleague. He has Texas still first four out. He has Texas with still more work to do. And what that means is that Texas probably needs to beat Tennessee today to feel good on Selection Sunday, and also probably needs to beat Tennessee today to bring back Rodney Terry as its coach for next season. Fascinating sort of situation, fascinating set of circumstances. Because, as you know, Rodney Terry isn't just the Texas coach. He's a former Texas assistant who used to work for Rick Barnes. The first time I met Rodney Terry, he was working for Rick Barnes at Texas. Rick and Rodney are close friends. And so Rick is in a position today that I can't imagine is fun. You want to win the game, you coach the Vols, but you know that winning the game will likely keep your friend out of the NCAA tournament and probably cost him his job.
That's crazy.
It doesn't mean anything more than that. It doesn't mean you don't try to win the game. It just means that, man, when your success has to come at somebody you care about's expense, that's never fun. It's why you see coaches all the time say, I don't want to schedule my former assistants. I don't want to schedule my best friends. If we're forced to play them in the tournament or conference play, there's nothing we can do about that. But I don't want to voluntarily make that game happen, because then we're at a situation where if I succeed, it comes at his expense, and I don't like that. I don't want to ruin my friend's life or day. And Rick Barnes can end Rodney Terry's career at Texas today with a victory over the Longhorns. So that's just another fascinating aspect. One quick thing on Rodney Terry, and this has got nothing to do with Texas. I just think this is something people miss when it comes to these types of coaching situations all the time. All of the intel on the Texas situation with Rodney Terry is that administration does not believe in him. They promoted him from within because he did a good job inheriting a team midseason that Chris Beard had to hand over after Chris Beard was arrested. And he did such a good job. He went to the Elite Eight that year that they felt like they had to give him the job. So they did. And he has not run it into the ground, but they just have. Over the past couple of years, that administration, this is the intel, has just reached the conclusion, we love Rodney Terry. We'll pay him all the money we owe him. But he's not the guy that needs to be running this program. He might need to be an assistant coach in this program or a mid-major coach somewhere else. But he's not the right. We are the University of Texas. We're one of the 10 biggest brands in college athletics. We should have one of the 10 best coaches in college basketball, and I don't think we have him right now, with all due respect. That is what the intel is connected to Texas and Rodney Terry. Here's my point. because he might win a couple of games randomly in Nashville, it changes your opinion on him? That is insane to me. And I say this with no opinion whatsoever on Rodney Terry, or at least I don't need to share my opinion on Rodney Terry to make my point. My point is this: if you as an administration have decided that you have a coach who isn't good enough to run the program you want to run, you should change coaches. And it should not matter that he upsets Texas A&M on a Thursday and might upset Tennessee on a Friday. That would be the equivalent of deciding after years of a life with somebody, you're ready to break up because you just know this is not the person for me long term. It's just, they're fine, but it's not going to work long term. We should break up. I've got enough information now. I know who this is. I know who I am. It's time to break up and just both of us start fresh. We can all move on. No real strings attached. But then you have like 2 good dates in a row, and it makes you forget everything else you had decided after years of experience. Like, that wouldn't make much sense, would it?
No.
Okay, but that is what basketball, that is what universities do all the time. They get caught up in the moment, and they say, well, he won 3 games, so I guess we got to keep him. NC State did it last season. They were going to fire Kevin Keats. Then he got hot, won the ACC tournament, so they kept him. And they fired him last week, less than a year later. Okay?
Right.
They ended up doing the thing they wanted to do all along. They just did it a year later than they wanted to do it because they got caught up in the moment. That would be my advice to Texas. If you think Rodney Terry's the right guy for the job, you should keep him today, regardless of what happens today. But if you don't think he's the right guy for the job because you've watched it up close and you don't believe in it, then you should remove him when this is over, regardless of when this is over. And you ready for this? I mean this sincerely. Even if he goes to the Elite 8 again, if you don't believe you've got the right guy for the job, don't get caught up in a bunch of individual results that don't mean as much as they might feel like they mean while they're happening. People luck into Elite 8 runs every single year. To get caught up in the long-term trajectory of your program, attach it to that, has just never made much sense to me.
Real quick, last thing before I get you out of here. Obviously, great slate of games today. It's setting up to be a really big weekend in conference tournaments. The most interesting storyline either today or of the weekend that you're going to be paying the most attention to is?
I think the Rodney Terry storyline is pretty fascinating. I mean, it's a big job. It immediately, like if it opens, it becomes maybe the biggest job available, even bigger than Virginia, even bigger than Indiana. I know from a basketball history perspective, people would look at the Indiana job and hold it much higher than the Texas job because at Indiana, they've accomplished a lot of things in basketball that they've never accomplished at Texas. But I'm just telling you, you ask 100 college basketball coaches, where would you rather work? Would you rather be the men's basketball coach at Texas or Indiana? I believe most of them would say Texas. Not all, but most. So this Texas job, Rodney Terry trying to keep it, and but if he doesn't, it becomes maybe the biggest job on the board, and there could be a domino effect that leads to all sorts of other jobs opening that, as of this moment on March 14th, people don't anticipate opening. And let me make one more point about the Rodney Terry thing, because Memphis almost did this to itself once upon a time. You might be too young to remember this, but they have to push Tick Price out. They have to promote Johnny Jones on an interim basis to be the interim head coach of the Tigers. And people liked Johnny, and he did a pretty good job. He did a pretty good job. And nobody will admit to this now, but if you could go back and find talk radio audio from back then, there were people, even hosts, saying, why wouldn't you just hire Johnny Jones full time? Like, he's done a pretty good job. They hired Johnny Jones. There were people who wanted to hire Johnny Jones full time for more or less the same reasons Texas hired Rodney Terry full time. When you promoted him to the interim, you didn't think you would even consider it, but then he did a pretty good job, so now you're thinking about it. And then finally, you know what somebody stood up and said? The answer to the question, why don't you hire Johnny Jones full-time because he's done a pretty good job as the interim, is because you can hire John Calipari. What are we talking about? The same thing that Texas should have realized a couple of years ago, probably. Rodney Terry has done a pretty – if they're going to end up firing him now anyway, this is what they should have realized before, because this is true. They did not, on the day they had to remove Chris Beard and promote Rodney Terry on an interim basis, there's not a single person at that university who thought they were going to hire Rodney Terry full-time. Not one. Then he did a good job, and so they did it. But what they should have been asking themselves is the same question Memphis had to ask itself 20-something years ago. Okay, Rodney Terry did a good job. Should we promote him as the interim? Only if we think we can't get somebody better. In Memphis, all those years ago, the something better was John Calipari, and I think what most people would tell you is that if you would have opened that coaching search up on a national level, there would have been candidates more accomplished and perhaps better suited than the one they ended up promoting. But we'll see how it goes today against the Vols.
Good stuff, GP. We will be watching today on CBS Sports Network, and we will talk to you back here on Monday. Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you guys holding it down. You're doing me a favor, not the other way around. So thank you, and I'll see you soon.
All right, sounds good. When we come back, massive game tonight right here inside this building, inside FedEx Forum. The team with the best record in the NBA, the Cleveland Cavaliers, are in town. Jessica Benson's going to be in studio. Devin Walker's going to be in studio. We'll talk about that next. You're listening to the Gary Parrish Show on Grind City Media.
We will get into all things Grizzlies, but first and foremost, a big congratulations to the Memphis Tigers for locking up at least a share of the AAC title. First time since joining the American Athletic Conference that they are regular season conference champs.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping. It's going to be crazy. The fans are going to be loud. We need just energy.
Behind the back to Jared for the flush.
We're going to need, the Forum rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support. When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bane 3. Yes, sir. Desmond Bane with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Welcome back to the Gary Parrish Show. GP's producer, Bennett Doyle, holding it down today. And I've got friends in studio now. Devin Walker's here. And our weekly Friday guest, Jessica Benson, is here as well. What's up, guys?
Are we your friends?
We're friends.
Are we friends?
Are we all friends? You have around here?
Are we
so
all friends?
Us in here?
Y'all are my only friends here. Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah, y'all are my only friends here. All right, I talked a ton of college basketball with GP because it's obviously a huge day. There's a ton of stuff going on, a ton of great games today. Before we get to the Grizzlies, your USC Trojans,
I don't want to talk about it.
You don't want to talk about that? You want me to just move right on?
You don't want to talk about the fact that the Big Ten wanted Purdue to win?
Oh.
You didn't want to talk about the fact that that was one of the weakest. That's one of the weakest.
She has a conspiracy theory.
Weakest foul calls.
Conspiracy, Jess.
Absolutely weak.
I thought it was kind of weak too.
Absolutely weak. I get it. We're not going anywhere this year, no matter what. But you didn't have to end it like that. It made me mad.
Conspiracy, Jess.
I tend to agree. Okay, so
you should challenge the call.
All right, we're going to talk about.
I would if I could.
We're going to talk about the Tigers in the next segment. But other than since your Trojans are done, other than the Memphis Tigers,
I'm sorry,
Damn.
my men Trojans are done.
Her men Trojans. She still has juju.
Women will be a probably 1 seed.
Shout out to the big.
When
bun.
does the women's tournament start?
Next week. It's on Election Sunday, same day, same time,
Bro,
same
Bennett,
place.
it's not like on
But they're
another,
not on
another year.
No, but I thought that they were on like a different. Don't the women start earlier than the men? No, it's all at the same time.
It all lines up the same
Okay.
way because the women's Final Four is always the Friday, Sunday, because when you're off on the Sunday between the men's Saturday, Monday, you watch the women's championship
There
game.
you go.
Gotcha.
Bennett, tap in.
Hot take.
All right.
I think the women's championship game will be a hotter ticket this year than the men's championship game.
I don't know if that's a hot take, JB.
I actually don't think it is, but
Yeah.
around the when you're talking to
Because you got stars.
talking to men,
Oh yeah, my bad.
like when you have to
Gotta
like,
whisper it.
gently.
Yeah, because they have bigger
Yeah.
stars. I mean, respectfully, if you take out the Cooper Flagg situation, bro, you might have bigger stars right now in women's basketball.
Well,
than you
hands
do.
down. It's crazy because like when my dad used to be on the committee and worked in college sports, like people would request tickets and he would sometimes like joke back and be like, "You're talking about the women's Final Four, right?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "I could get you whatever tickets you want from the women's Final Four." But we were talking this year and he said he would think that would be a harder ticket to grab onto at this point in time. They're both hard now. I mean, they both like
Of
level
course,
up at this
of
point.
course.
but-
Like, okay, let's do an exercise then,
Yep.
since we're here.
Okay.
You take Cooper Flagg off the table because you know he hurt his ankle yesterday. Who is the most famous college basketball player right now?
And men's?
Yep.
That's a good question.
It's Broom,
That's
but I don't think
Janai,
you
yeah,
could. But I
it's-
don't think most people could identify
Yeah.
him on.
But that's
like,
who it
throw
is,
up a
right?
graphic,
I think it's
throw up a graphic without a jersey and without a name on, or like any indications of who he plays for.
Exactly. You
And
wouldn't-
I don't think you can
Okay.
identify.
This question's for both of y'all.
No,
Outside
you
of the.
still-
But
other
if you
than
did it
him,
for women-
other than him, do it. Name it. Name the most famous person.
You could go locally here.
PJ Haggerty.
You know, he's third. He's second.
Dang,
Was he,
danger.
was he
Danger.
second team All-American? PJ.
He has not been named officially, but he is.
He's on the.
Yeah.
He's on the
list.
first.
Okay.
He's on that first Sporting News team.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I hate this exercise. I got a better exercise. Okay.
No, I like it.
Outside.
Can you tell me what does Walter Clayton look like?
Exactly.
I cannot.
Hey,
Can you
know
tell
what?
me?
I cannot.
But
What
when I
does
say
Mark
Juju-
Sears look like? You got the
When
bun.
you say Juju, Bennett Doyle,
She's got a signature though too. Hers is easy.
you got the big bun. But yeah,
Like I'm not sure most
it's
casual
Cooper
basketball
Flagg.
fans could
Like
identify
I said,
we
with
say
him
without
at all.
him.
he might not play though. That's the thing.
Okay.
But go ahead and do your little exercise you
All
want to do,
right.
Mr.
I do love
Tybo.
an exercise.
Outside of the
Mr.
Memphis
Tybo.
Tigers, the team that you are rooting for or following the most in the NCAA men's NCAA
Easy. I have an
tournament
easy answer.
is.
St. John's.
Oh,
I'm obsessed with the Rick
You're
Pitino
rooting for
story.
the
I think it's
Pitino story.
hysterical.
Okay.
I want to see Rick Pitino in his suit with his hands behind his back on the court at the national championship game, just looming like the devil he is, being like, haha, look
did
how
it.
easy it was for me to bring this back.
I beat the scandal.
Yep.
I beat the allegations.
Yep.
Even if they were true. And he
Whatever.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, Dev.
Bro, you know I'm not really a big college basketball guy.
I figured you were going to say Drake. It seems like that the Chris.
No,
it seems like the Chris
no.
Vernon show's adopted the Drake
no,
Bulldogs.
No, they were Adidas, bro. I can't.
They
Respectfully.
do have a cute mascot.
They do have a bulldog, but they were Adidas. I can't do that. If I was to name a team, like I said, bro, I wanted to see Cooper Flagg in the tournament because I feel like we haven't, other than like the Duke across his chest. I want to see we haven't seen like a high level NBA talent in the NCAA tournament in a while.
Yeah.
we asked it yesterday. It's been so long. Like,
That's true.
Since like Zion
The first one that would have come to mind
John
is
Zion, yeah.
exactly. So like we haven't seen like a high NBA level talent like that's a number one pick, highly talented, that kind of deal. So I was looking forward to seeing him. But other than that, bro, it's college basketball to me, man. Like I'm just looking forward to just upsets and fun vibes and get your puppies in order.
Random stories
I don't know about.
Yeah.
I talked about this on my show. My new favorite random story is that a kid on BYU, his great-grandfather invented tater tots.
I heard y'all talking
So
about that.
like,
shout out to
that's the
him.
kind of thing that we learn this
That's pretty
time of
good.
year.
Exactly.
I enjoy that.
Yeah, the ball is tipped.
I was
Bennett.
trying to. Do you have a famous ancestor that has
No.
invented anything cool?
No.
No?
Absolutely
Okay.
not.
Sorry, bro.
I've got nothing.
I'm not Gabe
My
Kuhn,
father
bro.
did not invent toaster strudels.
Shout out my dog Gabe Kuhn.
That's true.
His granddad invented the
invented
what is it? He invented the
toaster strudel. Yeah.
toaster
Wait,
strudel.
he actually invented the toaster
Yeah,
strudel?
Mel Kiper,
I made
like-
that joke because of Mean Girls, not because of Gabe
dead ass,
Kuhn.
Not dead ass.
No, that's real.
His great granddad invented the toaster
Shut
strudel.
up. Does he get royalties from the Mean Girls movie?
I mean, he probably does because I mean that's like
so
patent.
funny. I didn't know that.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Learn something every day, B.
I'm gonna go with. I know some people aren't gonna like this. I'm going with Arkansas.
I thought you were going to say Tennessee.
why?
I'll take Arkansas.
No, I'm going with Arkansas.
Why?
Well, I
Why?
don't feel like I like Coach Cal. Okay, I've always been a Coach Cal guy. I've talked about it on this show a million times. I think that when they honor that whole team together one day, he should be a part of it. We should have a big celebration to celebrate 2008.
You want to kumbaya around this
Yeah,
block?
I do. I thought it was a mistake when the university listened to a handful of fans that were like, you can't have him back and honor him before the game. Remember that?
Yeah,
remember when they were going to
that.
have the big celebration?
Yeah.
And they got out of it.
I thought that was silly for the university to, backtrack that.
To bow to fans.
Come on, man. Like,
Don't
just
bow to
do it.
fans.
Yeah,
Don't bow to
it's some of the
fans.
best times that we've ever had here. So, anyways, I'm going with Arkansas just because I think Cal in the tournament's interesting.
Yeah.
And so I hope they get in.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna find we're gonna find somebody. It's always one person per year, whether it's like the John Moran story. There's always one person a year that breaks on the scene in the NCAA tournament, right?
I honestly think
Like
from
the
a name
DiVincenzo.
standpoint, I think Dane Danger has massive popularity potential just because people are easy.
People
right?
love
Like there's so
chubby
many
guys.
teams, there's so many names. There's a kid for Wofford who shoots granny style free throws. Like he'll be a cult hero if they happen to make it out of the first round. But
good
even in
at
the
it,
first
too.
round, no, he's not.
He's not good.
No, he went like
I saw him
5
make
of
2 of them.
17
I
in
saw
the-
him make 2 of
You
them.
can't-
the other night.
tournament.
That's the key, bro. If you do the granny style, bro, you can't be bad at it.
You've
Bro.
got to be a
can't
boss.
miss.
You might as well shoot that
cannot
mud like
miss.
this, bro.
There's also, who's the team that I ended up liking this week? Some team that plays in the Northeast Conference. Whoever won for them. They have this mascot. It's called Frankie the Friar. I know their mascot. I
Yeah.
don't know the school
St.
name.
Francis.
Yeah.
St. Francis.
Thanks, Jacob.
But Frankie the
Tall
Friar.
guy?
Yeah, he's like a more terrifying version of the Providence mascot. I think religious mascots are the scariest
Yeah, they're kinda
in the
weird.
game.
Yeah, they're kinda
Like,
weird.
the faces, his feet are huge.
Yeah.
Like he could, the OnlyFans
Wait.
situation. Not that
OnlyFans. Shout out OnlyFans. I found my.
Shout out OnlyFans.
I know what team I'll root for. I know now.
Okay.
I don't know if they're gonna make the tournament. Y'all about to verify they make the tournament or not.
Okay.
Go ahead.
McNeese State.
Oh,
they're
fine.
Because of my guy that be walking the team out.
They
my
won.
Guy,
Oh,
Amir Khan.
Amir Khan. My guy.
See, the fact that I know that man's name, I
See?
mean, he's also a backyard baseball character, so it
He
makes
is
it
legendary.
so easy.
Amir Khan's a
But yeah,
legend
he
on
is a legend.
backyard baseball.
They are going to be in. They won their conference championships. Will Wade's team, they
Yes.
won their conference championship, so they'll be in.
I'm rocking with my boy Amir Khan because he got
pretty good.
plus
Where's the
500
updates on
aura.
the automat?
When he walks out the team, y'all go watch those videos. He walks the team out with some little vibe. You know what I'm saying? I'm with that. Give me McNeese State and Will Wade. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Obviously, we got a ton of great games on today. We'll be following that closely, but we got to get to Grizzlies. I'm 30 minutes into this show. I haven't mentioned the Grizzlies one time.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
Thanks a lot, Bennett.
Okay, big
Do you
game
even
tonight.
work for the team?
I know, right?
I know.
You got a Grizzly hat on.
Well, I only had GP for a few minutes, so I had to
Bennett's
get all
working
the
hard. I
college
can't give
basketball
Bennett any.
stuff.
He's
Yeah.
doing the pregame show for me tonight on Women's Empowerment Night.
Oh, that's
Shout
a hard
out
one,
Bennett
huh?
Doyle.
I have a women's empowerment question as
You
well.
do?
Yeah.
I love a women's empowerment
Yeah, I have a women's
question.
empowerment question.
Those are my favorite kind of questions.
Oh man,
Okay.
this might go left.
So does this game? Cavs are in town. They got the best record in the NBA. They've won 15 straight. Does it take some of the wind out of the sails? The fact that Donovan Mitchell's not playing tonight.
What did he get hurt in Nashville?
No, he's been out the last 2. I'm so mad about this too. I'm so glad you have that energy.
I heard you say
I'm
that,
so
too.
mad about
What's
this.
wrong with y'all?
Where are you providing for the Memphis economy in these trying times? You could have been having your days off here. You could have gone to
Exactly.
local restaurants
Yep.
downtown, supported downtown Memphis, and instead you're in Nashville after Darius Garland made his egregious comments about moving the team there in the first place. I don't care that that's your hometown. You go off to Vanderbilt. Nope.
Yo, we don't give a damn. And you
No.
posted a cute little video of y'all playing football. Like, oh, we don't care about the Grizzlies. We're going to play football.
Oh, I know.
Like,
It made me so mad.
Hey, look, bro.
I think he's become public enemy.
Oh, no.
Darius
Hey,
Garland.
Grizzlies fans tonight. I'm going to say it on our show, too.
Yep.
Hey, Grizzlies fans tonight. When that little scrawny dude with the fake little pineapple on his head touched the ball, we need to boo him every
Yeah,
single
we need to
time.
boo him.
He's trying to take our team from us. You boo him. Number 10, Darius Garland. Grizz fans, you hear me? You boo him every single time. But yeah, JB, I'm mad about it.
You
I'm
don't
pissed
want
about
him.
the whole thing.
Me too. It makes me like,
Yeah.
we have a couple days off. We
We're
haven't
gonna
played since
go to
Tuesday. We're gonna
Nashville.
go throw the pigskin around at Vanderbilt Football Stadium, and I like Vanderbilt football.
Yeah, me too.
Don't
Shout
make me
out
turn
Diego
on this.
Pavia.
Yeah, forever and always.
But no,
I
bro.
don't need to see Sam Merrill kicking field goals on your off day. Like, no.
That screams, oh, we play the Grizzlies on Friday. Oh, we don't really care about playing the Grizzlies on Friday. We
Yeah.
can go to Nashville and have a good time on Broadway.
So I think to go back to your original question,
my
Bennett,
bad. We kind of like
to go
spun
back,
this.
I just obviously a little hot about it,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I appreciate that.
I think the only thing that it changes is if the Grizzlies lose, then it becomes a Well, they can't even beat a top team when they're down their starting point guard who averages 24 points a game and had 33 the last time that these two teams played. And you don't want to allow Darius Garland to get going because that's what happened in that Nets game. The Nets almost ended. The Cavs would not be riding a 15-game winning streak if Darius Garland hadn't gone off for 18 points against the Nets in the fourth quarter in that game.
He went federal.
He had 18 of whatever his final stat line was. But the conversation around the Cavs is like, ooh, Darius Garland getting out of his slump. Ooh, can he carry the momentum over? I think they'll still roll with him in the starting lineup. Ty Jerome was out for that game against the Nets. But I think keeping that
first game too.
You keep that Ty Jerome, DeAndre Hunter, like second line, and then you have to have your reserves go up against that. Take Darius Garland.
Yeah, just take him out of the game. Hey, look, bro, but I feel good about tonight because, like I said, the factor of I'm mad. First of all, because like I said, they did go to Nashville instead of coming to the National Civil Rights Museum, going to some places down here.
Go visit some kids at St. Jude. Do you hate kids?
Yeah, you hate kids. Screw you, Cavs. Come on, bro, be better. But I feel good because I think tonight we're going to get 13 back. And I think there's been a conversation the last, week and a half where the defense hasn't been the best, where like guys get blown by and it's it's a layup drill, right? Yeah. Teams hit a lot of threes. 13's going to be back on that back line, and I think he makes a lot of things easier for everybody on the defensive side. And two, on offense, I think Ja's been humming, Dez has been doing his thing. Putting Jaren back out there in the midst of all this, I want to see it all connect together. Like, I want to see a lot of Jaren pick and roll because you can pick and pop. I want to see tonight, I want to see I'm a big Dragon Ball Z fan. You a Dragon Ball Z fan?
No.
You Dragon Ball anime guy?
Not Dragon Ball Z, no.
Not quite. I don't want to see quite final form, but I want to see you get to that form that we're going to see more in the postseason tonight, right? Where you lean on 12, 13, and 22
Goku.
A lot more.
Get that Goku? Is it Goku?
Yeah, Super Saiyan. Yeah, whatever you want to go with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just lean on 12.
Goku.
Go Goku.
Is that it? We want our team to get Goku tonight?
Super Saiyan.
Go Super
Saiyan tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So like you lean on 12, 13, and 22 as much as possible. Respectfully tonight, I don't want. There should not be a point tonight where one of those dudes are not on the court. Yeah. If I see a bench lineup with none of those, I will run on the court myself. So yeah, I feel good about tonight, Beto, because I'm mad.
I also think too, with if Jaren's back and he's of course questionable, which typically is a good sign for our injury reports.
He just skipped doubtful.
Yeah, he just skipped right over doubtful. I love that too. And I love the matchup with Mobley. Like those are, the two. I think they're the guys, right? It's them too for that Defensive Player of the Year award. So that'll be a fun matchup tonight. And I'm kind of the opinion now, like, just because this race for the top 4 seeds in the West is so tight, or the top 2, 3, 4 is so tight, I just want to win games. Like I just want to. I don't really care like who's missing games for the other team or anything like that. Obviously, I want to see the Grizzlies beat contenders in the West, contenders in the East. I want to see that going into the playoffs, but I think having home court for this franchise, like home court's not important for the Lakers.
No.
Home court's probably not important for like the Denver Nuggets. Home court, I think, is important for the Grizzlies. Like I think staying in the top 4 really matters for this team.
Even though, contrary to popular belief, but factual belief, the last couple times we've had home court, we've lost game 1. That's fine.
That's true.
That's fine.
That's true.
But yeah, been doing the points to remain.
I go back to supporting the Memphis economy.
Yeah.
Home court advantage usually tends to having, if you don't get a sweep, it's an extra game. And the Cavs might not come here and spend money, but once you get to the playoffs, everybody's spending money downtown.
You're damn right, Cavs.
So it speaks bigger.
Cavs. I got smoke for y'all, bro. I don't really appreciate that. 'Cause they were there for a long time.
I mean,
they could have stayed in Cleveland.
You could have stayed y'all's asses in Cleveland.
We're 24-10 at home this year. Like that matters. That really does matter for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, and if you take out losing 3 straight games with final game-winning shots by your opponent.
Yeah, that was depressing.
And then the Thunder loss after that. That's the thing too that's been nice about these last 2 is I get it, down opponents. Not in the most spectacular fashion. You're not blowing them out. But it did just feel good to win at home again and to get that confidence going.
Yeah.
And that's where it comes with the Cavs. Like, you don't want to go into the postseason where you're sitting there with any level of doubt in the back of your head. We never beat a big one.
Right.
Yeah.
I get it. It's just a game.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, it's 1 of 82. But you have not beaten a big one since December 7th when you won in Boston. And you haven't done it at home.
And you beat a big one tonight, you'll be the header on ESPN apps.
Yeah.
And ESPN, other than conference terms.
You broke the win streak.
You broke the streak. Everybody wants to be. Hey, Bennett, you remember who broke Undertaker's streak?
It was
Do you
Brock.
remember?
It was Brock.
It was Brock freaking Lesnar, right?
It was Brock.
We're going to be Brock Lesnar tonight.
Still a mistake to
Do
this
you
day by
remember-
WWE.
We're going to be Brock Lesnar tonight, baby.
Who broke the Cavs' first 15-game winning streak this season? Because that's the thing. They've won 15 before.
Oh, I bet it was like the Wizards or something.
No, it's the Celtics.
Oh, it was the Celtics.
Oh, we beat
okay.
them.
So put yourself in that category. And
We beat them.
sure
Okay.
did.
We
Good
beat
stuff.
them. We did that. That happened forever ago, JB, but we did that.
We'll talk about.
100 years. There's been 3 losses to the Thunder, 2 losses to the Knicks, and 1 loss to the Cavs since that happened. But
JB, it's fine.
we're gonna talk about the
Facts are not important.
We're gonna talk about tomorrow night's events.
in these trying times, who
Facts are
cares?
not important.
We'll talk about tomorrow's game in the next segment because that's a big one too.
You don't want to talk to us about that?
I'm
You're
gonna,
staying.
dude. I gotta.
He's gotta fill out a
spread it
show.
out. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I gotta spread it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like you're like making some like butter toast.
Well, I wanted to continue on the tonight.
You want to know what I haven't had in forever?
Cinnamon
toast.
I make cinnamon toast all the time. I make cinnamon toast all the time.
Elite.
Really?
Easy. The kids love it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's such a kid meal.
Yeah.
It's very much a kid meal.
But I
Yeah.
want to make it an adult meal.
Cinnamon toast is elite. You know what else is good? You ever had cheese toast?
Yeah.
Cheese toast. I used to kill.
like-
Is that just melted cheese on toast
Yeah.
with some
you
butter?
you get the block
Yes.
cheese, right?
Yeah.
You chop them up. You chop like 2 big blocks on. Put it on the bread. Put the oven on broil. Slide that mud in there. Wait like maybe 2 minutes.
Okay.
And you got a whole meal, beat oil.
Yeah, but if I'm gonna do like a
Nice.
cheese situation like that, I'd rather make homemade nachos where you just take some tortilla chips and sprinkle some cheese on top
I'm
and
with
stick
that
them in the
too.
microwave.
I'm with that too.
I just realized I haven't done that in a long time.
We gotta
and I
get back
miss
to these
that.
struggle meals.
Don't say that into existence. We're about to get back to these struggle meals.
Yeah, we gotta get back to these struggle
I
meals,
went to
bro.
Starbucks yesterday. Sorry, I know some people don't want to shop at Starbucks anymore.
no.
I'm choked up about it.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Get it.
Oh no, she's
It's
gonna
okay.
cry.
I got a tall.
We're used to
It's
coughing
Gary
on this
Studio.
show.
Everybody
Yeah,
coughs on
everybody
this
coughs
show.
around here.
I got a tall, like shaken espresso drink.
Oh.
It was $6.
Oh yeah,
For
Starbucks
a
is wild now.
small drink. I was
Yeah.
like, oh no.
Yeah.
I'm making my coffee at home.
So I just
Damn
drink
right.
I'm
the
making my
free
nachos
coffee.
at home.
Yeah.
I'm making my cinnamon toast.
Do the Bennett Doyle.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just do the
Community.
free coffee.
Community.
Shout
Luke.
out community.
Bennett
Shout out
knows.
community.
I
Shout out
can
Luke.
do it.
Luke does it too. Shout
the
out Luke.
good stuff.
Luke does the community coffee
I
too.
have a Diet Coke before I have a community coffee.
Really?
Yeah, I'd rather get the caffeine
See,
sugar
I-
kick that way.
The thing
Yeah,
is,
I feel that.
I don't discriminate with coffees. Like I can go like the.
I discriminate with other things, but
Yeah.
coffee is
Coffee
where I
is where
draw the
don't.
line.
I'm a very diverse coffee drinker.
Don't let the beard fool you. I'll do like black coffee in the mornings just to get punched in the face.
Look
but
at
like
you.
during the afternoon, I might have like a little sweet treat. You know? Yeah, I might go to Starbucks, get me a little sweet treat. So I don't, I switch it up.
I do
Yes,
like a
sir.
sweet treat.
I can't do that.
Don't do
I don't
it.
think I can do that.
Don't do it.
I don't want that on camera. Yeah.
on women's empowerment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Speaking
Yeah, right.
of women's empowerment night tonight at the
Mm-hmm.
game, big. You're doing TV tonight, right?
I'm doing TV before the game and Faith and Family Night. We have to share women's empowerment
Okay,
night.
good.
Has to
Damn,
share
we got to
with Faith and
remix it.
Family
Wait,
Night.
I thought we already had that.
But it is cool. It's like a double. No, that was Gospel Night, which I've
Okay,
now since
okay.
learned there's a difference.
Gospel Night was
Okay,
lit.
hold on.
Gospel
Time
Night
out.
was lit.
Time out. Can we speak on this?
Yeah.
This is hilarious, by the way. This tells you like the split of churches.
Yeah.
There's Gospel Night with Marvin Sapp. If you went to the Marvin Sapp concert, you know the demo that was at this Marvin Sapp concert. John Roser called it. There's Faith and Family Night going on downstairs. I'm still mad about that, Roser, by
But
the way.
it wasn't Faith and Family
It was
Night.
Gospel Night.
It was Gospel Night.
And it was all my demographic, right? At the freaking Marvin Sapp concert. And I was like, that's our Gospel Night. We have a Faith and Family Night, which will probably be more of the other demo.
Well, it's not a musical guest.
It's not?
No, it's Bethany Hamilton.
Who's that?
The woman who was attacked by a shark when she was a kid. She was a surfer.
damn.
And she lost her
Oh.
arm, and then she was back on a surfboard like a month later. Legend. Like when
Is she singing?
No, we're speaking. I'm doing a panel. Not a panel, a conversation. When Ethan asked me if I wanted to do it, I was like, you don't understand how obsessed I was with this girl when I was a kid, because I wanted to be a surfer. I had this period in my life where I wore a St. Christopher's medal around my ankle. I know, it was a whole
definitely
thing.
give me Hollister surfer vibes.
Hollister, Paxson,
yeah.
Roxy.
Yeah,
I wanted to be
young
sponsored by
JB,
Roxy.
yeah, young JB was definitely on that Hollister
Quicksilver.
kick.
Yeah. Took my Christmas card pictures in an Element shirt one year. That was a time.
We need those.
The chat's saying we need to have a goth night. I agree.
Oh, I'm so
I
in for goth
completely agree.
night.
Let's do goth night.
I'm with it.
That would be awesome.
I can tell you how misunderstood I am.
That would be awesome. Okay, so tonight's
Anyway,
women's
back to
empowerment
women's
night.
empowerment
No,
night.
yeah, tonight's
My
about the
bad, my
women.
bad,
All
my
right,
bad, my
all right,
bad.
not about the goths.
Shout
It's
out
about
to
the
the-
women. Okay.
And so, what'd you say?
I said tonight's not about the goths.
Oh, I thought you said not about
It's not about God either. Tonight's about the women, okay? All right. Get it straight. Okay.
That's wicked.
I saw this headline pop up yesterday, and it just...
no.
I think I know where you're going with
it
this.
concerned me.
Okay.
The LA Sparks are in the headlines.
Okay.
WNBA franchise. A star-studded WNBA franchise.
Well-known franchise. Games are fun.
They plan to hold male practice player tryouts next month. Your thoughts?
I love it.
I mean, you
I love it.
You do.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you something. You want to learn something today? Most female teams have male practice players already.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, bro. University of Memphis doesn't practice against their own team. They practice against dudes.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
It's both. It's usually a
It's a little
hybrid.
bit of both.
I
but
figured
like-
they were just practicing against like walk-ons.
No, dude.
Yeah.
Most female teams practice against males.
But it gives them so many different looks. It's people who sometimes might like challenge different body types because you never know what you're going to face, athletic skill level. But yeah, it's the usual thing.
Exactly.
This
So
is where I
this
remind
isn't even
everyone
that big of a deal.
that basketball's basketball.
I think it's more big
I
of
thought
a
you were going to
deal
talk about how everyone's talking about how hot the LA Sparks are.
Exactly, because I'm signing up in a heartbeat. Hey, LA Sparks, you need somebody to fly me out.
I think that's why this.
I think
Made a headline.
Because they got their first team all beautiful, by the way. You got Rickea Jackson, you got Cameron Brink, you got my girl Kelsey Plum, you got who else they got on there?
That's their big three.
The big three. That's an elite big three, by the way. The real big three, by the way.
They're
Shout
gonna
out
be
to
good,
them.
right? They were bad last year. They're gonna be good this
Should be
year,
good.
right?
Cameron Brink comes back.
Yeah.
But Rickea Jackson is 101. You seen
Yes.
her?
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's awesome.
101.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the reason it went viral, because it's like, yo, how many dudes are gonna sign up so they can play one, so they can do the love and basketball with Rickea Jackson or Cameron Brink?
How much you think a male practice player gets paid?
Nice little stipe, little
You probably just get like free lunch.
free lunch, little In-N-Out burger.
Also, like, how cool would it be to go tell all your little dude friends, like, I'm a male practice player for the Sparks.
Exactly.
Like, I'm in there with Rickea Jackson and Cameron Brink. They boxed me out today.
They boxed me out tonight. Hey, bro, you see that? She did that move on me first. You know what I'm saying? Also, you probably get some good gear. Probably get some Sparks gear to go with it.
Because you're part of the team.
You're part of the team.
Squad.
If they win a championship, B. Doyle, you get a ring. But no, bro, just imagine like sitting around a bar, B. Doyle, like, yo, you know Cameron Brink? She boxed me out yesterday. She put that thing on me.
I'm gonna leave that with you.
What do you mean?
I mean, you said it.
Okay.
Bennett can't walk into anything after yesterday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know you and the German Shepherds
I'm
are.
trying to be really careful today. I'm trying to be really careful today in case y'all hadn't noticed.
If it was a German Shepherd trial, would you do it?
Just stop.
Okay, so while you were talking about this, it reminded me of an article that came out at some point, I think it was last year, on the male practice players at Iowa who could not stop Caitlin Clark. And so there was a whole piece in The Athletic.
Yeah.
So if you want to go back and read that, it was a really good piece from last year that was on male practice players around college basketball. I'm not sure if the W has been doing this as much. I would assume they have.
Yeah,
it's just always been a thing.
Of course, yeah.
But I love that they made it like a public thing.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
yeah.
The more people talking about the W, the better.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly.
I think it's like the most anticipated season ever. There's no question about that.
Yeah, for sure. And my girl Angel Reese talking about sitting out. You got any more women empowerment questions?
I do not.
sure?
I do not.
You sure?
I tried
This is
my
fun.
best
Can we
there.
ask another one?
I don't really have anything.
Name a woman.
Name a woman. Name your favorite woman.
Yeah.
Susan B. Anthony.
Yeah, she's a little problematic.
Not my favorite. She's not my favorite.
She was only for some women, not all women, Bennett.
Not Susan B. Anthony.
Devin, name a woman.
I just thought that was a good answer.
J.K. Rowling.
Okay, another woman
now
who's
that's
not
way
for all women.
problematic, bro.
I'm joking, bro.
Whoa, we gotta take a break after that.
Serena Williams.
Wrong answer.
Good answer.
Serena Williams.
Serena Williams, good
I'll
answer.
go Serena Williams.
All right, sounds good. JB, happy Women's Empowerment Night.
Thank you so
We will be
much.
watching on the TV broadcast tonight
Thank
on
you.
Pandora
She's
Sports
leaving?
Network. Yeah, she's leaving. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's a 20-minute segment. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can stay.
Yeah, you got
Do you want me to
No,
stay?
no.
I have to stay here for a meeting.
So
Our
we
meeting
got
at
a meeting.
11:30.
So why not, JB?
Okay, then
I'll
let's
stay.
do this. We'll take a
Whatever.
break, come back. We're going to talk about the Tigers. They're playing Wichita State today. Kick off AAC tournament play. We'll talk about that next. You're listening to the Gary Parrish Show on Grind City Media.
We had big classic news from the Southern Heritage Classic last week when it was announced Arkansas Pine Bluff and Alcorn State will be the two Classic participants.
Being a part of the Classic is a big deal. It's third year for UAPB and the first year for Alcorn. So I'm just glad we were able to get it done.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Bain, a pump fake, a three. It's true for Desmond Bain. FBK. Fly by King. Wheels through the lane, now spins back. Ja hangs. Puts it in! Oh, what a shot by Morant in the clutch. So hot. Oh, Jerry said no!
Because he doesn't put on a play, comes up with a monster block.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, on evenings, and even on Saturdays. So the next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's Ortho South at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things that you need to know.
Number 1.
All right, Memphis Tigers, they are in action today. AAC tournament quarterfinal taking on Wichita State. I actually think this is a pretty intriguing matchup for the first game that they're going to play in this subpar conference tournament. I'll just say that. I was going to say something meaner.
Call it mid-off.
Yeah.
A bunch of mid.
No, I mean, the last year, Shockers knocked out the Tigers in the AAC tournament, ended their season. They're only one of 2 AAC teams to beat the Tigers this season. Got that overtime win just 2 months ago in Wichita. The Tigers did split with Wichita State this season. They beat the Shockers here back in January, 61-53. PJ Haggerty had a big game, 22 points in that one. Tyrese Hunter had 16. And then that overtime loss that I mentioned, 84-79 in Wichita. That was February 16th. PJ only had 15 points. Did have 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Tyrese Hunter led the Tigers with 24 in that game. The big difference, or the similarities where they had success was Quincy Ballard, their senior forward, played well in both of those games. And our bigs didn't. And I think that's the big difference between those 2 games that were, obviously they won one of them. The other one was pretty close here at FedEx Forum. I think the big difference is Dane Danger wasn't good in either of those games. Like, he gave them hardly anything. He's been amazing since then. So you would think that he really shows up in this game, and as good as he's been playing lately. Like, I really like the Tigers' chances today, and I like the revenge factor. I think that helps them.
Is Kobe Rogers going to finally have a good game against his old team?
Now's the time.
Because he's been big buns against them, by the way.
You would hope so.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you, Clea Anthony Early is not walking through that door. Ron Baker's not walking through that door. Fred VanVleet's not walking that door. Who else?
Gary Marshall's not coming back to coach there. Greg Marshall's not coming back to coach.
He's not coming back to coach. We ain't worried. We not worried. Look at me in my face, B. Doyle. We ain't worried about who else. Name another famous Malcolm Armstead. Name another famous.
Can't get a shocker twice.
I can't think of another famous shocker.
Connor Frankamp. You ain't walking through that door.
Okay.
Tigers by 15.
I do think you're right. I think Dane is the key.
Yeah.
Because after that, I think he only played like 20 or so minutes in that game, and then ever since, I think he's at 20+ in every game. Or somewhere around. He's in double-digit scoring at least.
Yeah, exactly. Shocker, lightning, whatever you want to do. Tigers by 20.
Yeah.
So I look at this tournament and just following bracketology
and get very bored.
in the bubble and everything. No, I'm not going to get bored. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm excited to watch this game. I hope that Memphis doesn't get screwed in this whole thing if they lose in this conference tournament, because all I've been told lately is how much the conference tournaments don't matter anymore, right? Like they
Who told you that?
Dude, that's like been the thing, because like these big time teams that that are 1, 2, 3, like when they lose in their conference tournaments, they don't really move that much in the bracket seeding. It doesn't matter as much as winning your conference in the regular season. I think it used to matter a little bit more. It just doesn't seem like it matters that much anymore. And so I hope that they don't lose. If they lose today, they're probably going to fall, right? You can't lose your first game. But like if they lose in the conference championship, I still think they're on that 7 line, something like that. I don't think it's fair to punish them for losing a conference championship game and knock them down to an 8-9. I think they're probably safely a 7 right now. I'd like to see them get to 6, but I think punishing them for whatever happens in this conference tournament this week doesn't go along the lines of what we've kind of been told over these past couple years.
I mean, yeah, sure. Like I said, I've seen some places you're a 6, some places you're an 8. I think that the truth is somewhere in the middle, right? It's a 7 probably.
That's right. The 7 feels.
It's more of like a thing.
I'm cool with that.
And if you're a Tiger fan, bro, you want to be the. I mean, I know you can't really be like, oh, I'm so excited to play a 10 seed, because the 10 seed is usually a pretty cold ass mid-major team.
Yeah.
But like, I'm more fine with being a 7 seed than I am being an 8 seed, because then you feel into the 1 seed. I ain't trying to do that. Yeah. I don't want no 1 seed smoke. Maybe if it's Duke.
Yeah.
That's the new thing.
But actually, you know what? I've changed my opinion. If Cooper Flagg is not playing in the tournament, I'm completely fine with being filled into Duke. But if he is playing, give me my 7-10 and I'll deal with the rest of it.
I do think it'd be interesting based on like the last Lenardi bracket that had them at an 8. If they were bumped up to a 7 in that region, and obviously if one thing changes, a lot of things change, so take that as you will. But if they were in the 7-10 game, then that would be Memphis, Arkansas, which would be highly dramatic.
Oh, it'd be so good.
I really want Arkansas St. John's, but I would
probably
love
watch that
Memphis,
shirt.
I would
watch that with my shirt on.
And then the 1 seed in that region would be Houston, which would also set up.
That'd be great too.
I don't want that smoke.
I know. I don't want.
I don't
want that smoke. I don't want Kelvin Sampson.
I don't want
smoke.
Kelvin Sampson ruining things and not allowing a second weekend appearance.
Yeah, I don't want him putting us in the cripple crossface.
Yeah, I literally might
game.
pick them to win the whole thing.
Walls of Jericho. He will put you in a submission move in the basketball game.
Penny's had success against him, though. Penny's had success against Kelvin Sampson in Houston.
So if you were to pick your preferable seed, what would it be?
7.
It'd be nice 7.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm
sweet
good
spot
with that.
7 seed.
I think they should be a 6 seed, but I'd be fine with a 7 seed. I think anything below that is BS. That's where I kind of stand. I think too, just this conference tournament. I know I downplayed it in the beginning. I do think it would be huge for Penny, like to win another one. You know, you already won the regular season outright. To in the same season win the conference tournament, get back to the NCAA tournament. Like at the beginning of the year, the expectations were get back to the NCAA tournament. You're already going to do that. You know, if you add another accolade to this year, I think it just really solidifies that. You know, he is the guy. This is his program, and they're gonna be successful year in and year out with Penny running this thing. So I think it's a pretty big weekend. Yeah,
I need second weekend in the tournament. I need.
See,
minimum,
I don't want to move the goalpost though.
No, we're moving
that
the
was
damn.
never, that was always the goalpost.
That was always the goalpost, Bennett. What the hell your goalpost
The
said?
goalpost was
your
get back.
goalpost?
The goalpost was get back.
Whose goalpost is that?
Dude, come on.
Is that your goalpost?
To me, it was always.
I feel like the goalpost has
when the season started, it was get back.
Once you made it there,
second weekend,
2 years in a row, and I know you last year, you're out, so sure, get back. but get back so that you can make it to the second weekend of the
Yeah, bro. We got one tourney win like the last like 35
I think you're
years.
moving the goalposts back if you don't have.
Stop moving the goalposts, Bennett.
And I think, we can fairly say you can look at the collective, and we don't have to jump ahead on this. We'll have plenty of time to talk about it. But like, you have the AAC regular season title. If you get the conference championship, like, does all of that ultimately provide somewhat of a cushion where if it is a first weekend exit, it doesn't feel as much of a disappointment, maybe? And I think there's like things to be celebrated, but the ultimate goal is to make it to the second weekend.
Yes.
Well,
I want a second weekend.
The problem is that's what we just talked about. That's all going to rely on where they're seated at, because it's the difference between playing,
that's what happened to them the first time.
Seed
great, you have to play Gonzaga. Have fun.
Yeah, we'll beat y'all ass.
Oh, great, you play FAU, and then they go on to make it to the Final Four. Like, that's what this whole month is about. But
yeah.
Hey, look, this all this whole conversation is just one thing. Just win the game.
Just win the damn game.
Roll the ball out, Tigers. You have the best roster. You got the best players. You got the best. And all on neutral courts, y'all been BTA and everybody.
That's right. They've been killing everybody on neutral.
Courts.
Yep.
So go out there, bro, handle business, and we ain't got to worry about these conversations. We can worry about these conversations on Sunday.
They'll tip off in about an hour over on ESPN2.
Number 2.
We mentioned tonight's game. Tomorrow night is an even bigger night because it's Tony Allen jersey retirement night tomorrow night versus the Miami Heat. First 5,000 fans are going to get one of these bad boys.
Look at promotion, B. Doyle.
Okay, I got to say, of all the records, I think this one's the coolest cover. I love the blue smoke.
Watch this. I'll give you $25 on the spot right now.
What?
$25. I'm going to cash app you right now.
Okay.
If you could tell me what cover that is. $25 on the spot.
It's Future. It's got to be Future.
No, which album?
Which one, though?
Dude, come on.
No,
now you're moving the goalpost.
I'm not moving
I
the
did it good.
goalpost.
I had that right off the top.
I'll give you $5 for naming the artist. If you name the album, I'll give you the full 25.
The album.
Don't look at the freaking chat. I see them eyes.
I'm not. The album is called.
Don't say it in the headset, Kyra.
The album is. The album.
I just heard y'all say it.
No, you didn't. I didn't hear anything. I don't know. Okay.
All right, but continue.
I was going to say, if you're going to break me down, I'm going to go harder.
That's not an album. That's a song. DS2, but continue. Keep talking. Keep doing your promotional thing, Ben. No, keep doing it.
First 5,000 get the record. It's awesome. They do this for all the jersey retirement nights. And the first two were incredible. Like Zebo's was great. Mark's was great. This one shouldn't be any different. By the way, do we know who's going to be in attendance for TA tomorrow night?
No, it's all sorts of secrets.
It's a lot of people, though. It's a lot. Lupe Fiasco's performing. I think I've coined this Tony Allen retirement night, the cookout, right? The celebration. It's going to be a cookout of Tony Allen, right? The Grandfather cookout at FedEx Forum on Saturday night. It's a celebration of. It's going to be emotional. It's like the dude's the heartbeat of this franchise, bro. The heartbeat of this city. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be the big. I think it's going to be. This is the biggest. I personally feel this is going to be the biggest celebration we've had out of all three so far.
Interesting. Like it is true. Like. He is someone who was here for all of that, and it's like I still like that era is just like some of the best times of my life. Like me and my wife when we first started dating, that's like we went to Grizzlies playoff games, like back in 2011, and it just was like It's why it's getting like you'll see people around the country might roll their eyes a little bit because they don't understand. They just don't get like. The culture shift, just what it did for this franchise, man. When they brought him here, and he started playing, like just something changed, and this city fell in love with the Grizzlies, and it's been great ever since. Like he really set a foundation, man. Like I'm stoked he's getting this night because it's big.
You look like you're about to cry.
I'm
JB,
telling.
Does he look like he's about to cry?
Bro, those were some of the best times.
The way he was talking with that passion he was talking with.
Yeah.
I seriously, I go back and look at like the pictures in the videos from those games. Like those were some of the best times, dude. They really were. I'll never forget that first game back when they split in San Antonio in 2011. Like. It was just a party in here. I'd never seen anything like it. Like when everybody's chanting Zebo walking around the concourse, and he obviously had the huge game. Like you knew coming into that series with the Spurs, like they wanted that matchup because they thought they matched up well with them. But like 8s don't beat 1s. Like that doesn't happen. And for them to do that, it was such a great moment for this franchise. I'm stoked for TA, man. It's gonna be fun tomorrow night.
Are you excited, JB?
I can't wait.
Are you locked?
I'm so excited.
I gotta ask you. I know we got 3 more numbers. I gotta ask you one question before we move on to the next one, because we're coining this the Grandfather Cookout. You know what happens at cookouts, right? People line dance. Benadora, what's your favorite line dance? Let's go! Let's go!
Come on, man, there's so many options.
There's so many options. You cannot go wrong with
What
these,
are some of the options?
Like Cupid Shuffle.
The
Take
cha-cha
take
slide.
one of them, like
Yeah.
3 white people do. The
The
wobble.
cha-cha slide.
I mean, I could do
You
the
can do the
cha-cha
wobble.
slide.
Rest in peace,
Yeah.
Mr. The guy who did the cha-cha slide. Rest in peace to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your cha-cha slide,
I've done the cha-cha slide.
I know
before,
JB
yeah.
is an elite line dancer, so I ain't gonna ask her this one.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm an
I've been to a
alright
lot of
line
weddings.
dancer.
Come on.
I enjoy seeing line dances pop up on TikTok and trying to just.
And JB's been to like 5,000 weddings, so I know she knows all of them.
What's your go-to line dancer?
To me, at this point, it's
So
like for most recent.
But see, there's a lot of people that can't even do this to me. Yeah.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? So
I know, but I wish I knew more. It's part of my life goal to be able to do even more.
how about this? I'm gonna start HR. Get on this. I'll start a line dance. I'm gonna start a line dance thing. We have all this stuff on our calendar. Y'all have wine
Line
tasting.
dance lessons.
Y'all had wine tasting yesterday for Women's Empowerment Month. I'm gonna start my own line dancing.
It'll
thing.
be a non-segregated event.
It definitely will not be like Faith and Family Night.
Everybody
I was
come to
telling you
line
about.
dance.
I was telling you about Love Thy Neighbor. We got to bring that back. The old school
Love Thy
Memphians
Neighbor.
remember Love Thy Neighbor. Okay, yeah. So tomorrow night, TA jersey retirement ceremony. It's going to be right after the game ends. So make sure you stay in your seats and get here early so you can get one of those awesome records.
Number 3.
Speaking of history, it was made again last night. Steph Curry, first player ever to reach 4,000 three-pointers in his career. He's obviously the greatest shooter of all time. He turned 37 today. It's his birthday. And I honestly,
Birthday stuff.
I know that
birthday.
we've got our like rivalry with them, and I know how we feel about the Warriors, but I think a lot of people are still like Steph. And the reason I like him is because I saw that and I was like, damn, 37, like we're like the same. You know, my guy.
He's the greatest shooter of all time,
dude.
And I'm being loyal.
Well, it's the thing.
But we're the same age.
I've been. This is
Same
the
trajectory.
like, this is the sadness. It's what I'm hanging on to. It makes me feel old because like all of my peers are starting to leave the league, right? Like it's like
no, I get that.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Okay, don't you kind of feel this way too with like, because you're a big movie person,
Yes.
and entertainment buff. So your peers are starting to leave the league, but in entertainment, some of the staples of like older people you revered,
yeah.
they're dying, and they're
Yeah.
going to die,
Uh-huh.
and they're old.
Yep.
It's depressing.
It
got
is
dark.
depressing. That did get really
I
dark.
know, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
That was
Yeah.
crazy. You went from celebration of Steph
Well,
Curry
the
to
Gene Hackman
you might
death followed
die.
by Dolly Parton's husband's death,
Yeah.
like sent me down a rabbit hole of looking up the age of like so many of these
Oh,
like
yeah,
stars that you, every time you see them, you're like, wow, they look great for. Like Diana Ross pops up at the Grammys. I'm like, wow, she looks great for her age. But like she's old.
She's old.
Dolly Parton is old.
My God, Woody
Jane
Page.
Fonda's old.
Woody Page is like he
My
better
girl
croak
Cher is
over.
old.
I've got Woody Page like he better croak over at any moment.
I love Woody Page.
Shout out
used
Woody
to wake
Page,
up in the
Memphis
morning, my
legend.
dad
Memphis
would
legend, that's
and
right.
Denver legend.
Yeah, shout out, man.
Used to wake
I saw
up,
him on
his
TV
column
yesterday.
would be
I
at
said,
my
damn.
breakfast table.
Yeah, I saw
That's
him
like how I
on
got into sports writing.
Really?
What? So he was the columnist
Mm-hmm.
in Denver. Yeah, he was the main columnist. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, back to Steph thing.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
it just it's cool to see him accomplish that again. Like you know, I think you know that team, they're right there, and it's kind of crazy. Like you know, this was the year. I think first half of the season, this was the kind of the year that we were talking about. You know, it's the new era, these new teams that are rising to the top of the league in the standings, and like you look up, and it's like LeBron and the Lakers and Steph and the Warriors are just
Yeah,
creeping
but that
up.
Jimmy,
like,
they're so good with Jimmy Butler.
It's like that was like an injection of
exactly.
Yeah.
drugs.
Like you're
into their
starting to
system, bro.
see, and I guess this could go eventually with Jimmy if there ends up being like trouble to
I need
deal
the
with.
first
But
rift.
watch the Lakers game last night, and Luka's doing a lot of like. There will never be an excuse for the Mavs trading Luka Doncic to the Lakers. Period. Dot. The end. However, because that was such an egregious action, it's been all like, how could they? And there hasn't been a lot of focus on. Well, sometimes Luka stops playing defense when he gets frustrated, and he's just hanging out in the back of the court, and the attitude starts to come back. And losing these games without LeBron, like you see that start to take part. Meanwhile, with the Warriors, they're having the time of their lives right now. I think they're
really
13-1 since adding Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I live with a Warriors
JB,
fan.
I'm gonna throw this phone
There's
at you.
resurgence of hope.
Yeah.
So has Chris brought out his Dub Nation stuff?
Yeah, but he like really doesn't want the Grizzlies and the Warriors to play in the first round because he really wants to root for the Grizzlies. Like he has become a genuine Grizzlies fan.
happy for Chris.
But the Warriors is his forever life, you know. And like he loves Steph Curry more than me. I woke up this morning to like 12 DMs of Steph Curry related content to catch me up on what I might have missed while I was sleeping last
Don't
night.
worry, Chris.
I was like, I got it. I got it.
Shout out Steph though, man. I was someone who kind of like did not like Steph that much because he's one of those people you like really like. Probably one of the most fun players in NBA history, but also if he's doing the shit against your team, it pisses you the hell off.
Yeah.
Like all like the running around with his mouthpiece out and like the shooting threes from deep and saying night to my team. Like you want to punch him in the face, bro.
Yeah.
But like the USA thing.
Night hurts.
When he does like the
Dude, why are you so surprised? You know how cold you are, bro.
Right.
But I think the USA thing for me allowed me to kind of have some like levity with the Steph situation. Of, like I can root for him at this point, bro. I can root for the light-skinned bandit and not be mad as hell at him, right?
Yeah.
So, shout out Steph Curry.
Yeah, shout out Steph.
I want Lakers Warriors in the first round.
That'd be
it might
fun.
not happen.
That'd be fun.
I would love for that to like be like a y'all knock each other out type of deal. So, shout out Steph Curry, man.
Number 4.
You mentioned Luka.
Speaking of Luka.
Have you seen this video of the Mavs owner, Patrick Dumont, talking about the Luka trade?
Yeah.
Have you seen it, Dev? We'll play it real quick. We got the video because it's pretty interesting. Here's Patrick Dumont talking about the Luka Doncic trade.
How did you frame a decision of such magnitude like this?
So, tough decisions are never easy. And part of leadership is looking at risk and looking at all the factors of a decision and being willing to act at that time and look to the long term and not only think about the short term or how it may be received immediately, but to think about the long-term benefits and what it may allow you to achieve if given all the right considerations. And I think for us, going into the trade deadline last year, we were not competitive. If you recall, we were not a playoff-bound team. And we were able to do some things to reconstruct the roster and enable the team to become very competitive. And after the trade deadline last year, we actually had the best record in basketball, which was a big accomplishment. And we got to the championship games, and we didn't win. And so we had to decide, how do we get better? What can we do to improve our team? And so we looked at our trajectory during the season and realized that we did not get better. But the teams that we competed against, some of which we beat, did get better. And ultimately, when you look at the Eastern Conference, after we were to get through the Western Conference, if we're so fortunate, you would have to beat some very formidable teams, including one that we lost to, which actually got better. So this was a decision about the future. If you look at our roster today and who we have, we feel like we position ourselves to be incredibly competitive against the best teams in the NBA. And if you're a fan of basketball, I'll just throw that out there, you have Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, PJ Washington, Anthony Davis, and either Daniel Gafford or Derek Lively as your starting five. That's going to put fear into a lot of teams in the league if we can get going.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Right?
Okay.
And so the objective was, how do we create a roster for the future?
So many outrageous things were just said there. I could not believe that when I saw that video. And I know you have to spin it. Like, he's probably speaking to Mavs fan, or I don't know if it was ticket holder event or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
that was like Mavs ball.
You got to put a positive spin on the situation. I get it, but like so many things. First off, the championship games was hilarious. The whole thing about we weren't very good, and then we made it to the finals, and how do we get, bro? Okay, first off, Luka got you there. Like, he's the one that took you there. Okay, we get to the finals, and then we look at the Eastern Conference, and how do we stack up against the, like, bro, you play in the Western Conference. Like, that's who you're trying to stack up against, okay? Yeah. And then the other thing is just the fact that he's talking about what do we do to get better, okay? And he obviously mentions signing AD, Kyrie. Well, Kyrie's got a torn ACL. He's going to miss the whole year. He's an older player.
And he's 32 years old.
He's 32 years old. Anthony Davis is always hurt. I mean, he just is, right?
Always hurt. 32 years old too, by the way.
32 years old too. And it's just like, it's what we've been saying, like, bro, you you traded away your future. Like that's you're building for the future. No, you're not.
You said the future word when you traded the thing away that was your future. Like there's like you said, there's a lot of word salad, and also the word that was the funniest to me is if we can get going. Dog, 3 of them people you name are hurt. And one of them's a freaking corpse. Klay Thompson, I'm talking to you, bum. But I'm saying, like, what are we talking about, bro? Like that's the thing, bro. Like, I feel like he had to say what he had to say because at this point you can be like, yeah, bro, my bad, dog.
Yeah,
I messed up.
You can't
my bad,
say that.
G.
Right.
No, you just get to this point where you try to like word salad enough that people will be like, oh, what did he say?
Yeah,
but even did you see what
yeah.
Southwest Airlines did?
Okay, so I got that too.
Okay.
This was my favorite, and this is why I brought this whole thing up because it ties into Southwest Airlines post yesterday. This is their response. Southwest, I'm a Southwest guy. Okay. We always fly Southwest. They're getting rid of their checked bags, the free checked bags. That was one of the big perks of flying Southwest is you get a free checked bag. And so they addressed it yesterday because there's been a bunch of public backlash, and their post literally said, at least we didn't trade Luka, or it's not like we traded Luka, which is pretty good.
That's tough.
Which is pretty good.
But again, it's like the Mavs ownership and GM having to come out and say, like, blah, 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 this is why we did this is dumb. And now Southwest is trying to confuse you from their ineptitude by saying, well, at least right now I'm trying to Luka.
That's what they're trying to Luka. You can't, don't try to put the smut on over there.
The Southwest thing is brutal. By the way, it is brutal for my family.
Yeah, it's tough.
I'm sorry.
That was a great perk. Now, granted, we're like card members, so like I think we still get. I think we still get one. I think we still get one. But I want the people to get it.
Yeah, you want the people. You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people.
Speaking of the man of the people.
You're not into this capitalistic hellhole.
No,
you want everyone
man.
to have some perks.
They've been doing that for 54 years, and they got rid of it.
Damn right. Speaking of the people, B-Dog, can you imagine, somebody brought up in the chat, can you imagine sitting at this dinner with this like probably not seasoned food? Like you've been at these dinners before.
Yeah.
The food's not the best food. You're eating like mid-food, and someone's up there telling you bullshit.
Yeah, dude.
And feeding you like, bro, I'm eating these mid mashed potatoes, this meatloaf.
Always mashed potatoes.
It's always mashed potatoes, JB. Meatloaf.
Honestly, I prefer the mashed potatoes to when they try to put out like the diced potatoes because those are unseasoned, and there's nothing worse than like just stale unseasoned
diced potatoes. Yeah, so like
potatoes.
I can only imagine how people felt at that dinner, like having to like sit there and eat that bad food and listen to this dude talk about, hey guys, I'm sorry, like our future is an old AD and an old Kyrie and a mummy Klay Thompson, and like I would be.
He said that lineup would strike fear in a bunch of teams. No, it would not. It would not.
He said if we could get going, dog, they ain't going nowhere. They going to the retirement home together.
Yeah. Him saying that lineup would strike fear is the equivalent of Southwest saying, at least we didn't trade Luka. And I cannot explain that any further, but it's both just saying absolute nonsense because they know they messed up.
Yeah,
they know they messed up. He knows. Yep. Somebody brought up the dried out grilled chicken breast. That is also a go-to at these.
Or a piece of fish is even worse. I would take the dried out piece of chicken over the dried out piece of fish 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah, shout out to them big conference dinners. Those are always funny.
That was good.
Number 5.
All right, speaking of Dallas, we got Cowboys beef. We got good Cowboys beef. So former Cowboys great DeMarcus Tank Lawrence, he's a Seattle Seahawk now. And he was being interviewed by, I think, someone from Seahawks media, and said in the interview, quote, Dallas is my home, but I know for sure I'm not going to win a Super Bowl there, which I see no lies. I see now, granted, it's not like you're going to win one in Seattle right now.
That was my whole thing with this. What are you talking about? Sam Darnold and your non-existent offensive line? Okay.
Right, you traded all your receiver, got rid of a receiver, traded your star receiver. Yeah. So Cowboys star linebacker Micah Parsons, he didn't appreciate that sentiment. He said on Twitter, this is what rejection and envy look like. This is some clown shit. And then DeMarcus Lawrence, you could see, said, call me a clown won't change the fact that I told the truth. Maybe if you spent less time tweeting and more time winning, I wouldn't have left, which that's actually a hurtful comment.
Yeah, that was a kind of a dig, bro.
Yeah, that's kind of hurtful. The Cowboys, man. And I know you like to get your dig.
Poverty franchise!
I can't say anything because I'm a Titans fan. I can't say anything, and we're trying. Like we're trying. We did a couple 1-year deals. Like it appears we're rebuilding our offensive line a little bit. We got a makeshift group. Like they're going to be scrappy.
Makeshift group.
They're going to be scrappy. They're going to be scrappy.
Words.
We're going to draft Cam Ward and we're going to build for the future, man.
Yeah.
Type.
We're gonna be able to.
At least you're not the Cowboys.
At least we're not the Cowboys.
Hey, the
because
Cowboys got Cooper Kupp this morning.
Did
they
they
do what?
Did they officially get him, or were
No,
they?
it was reported that they were trying.
Please don't say that.
Okay,
Don't let Vernon hear this.
That's the
Jessica,
thing.
do not let Vernon hear this.
That is such a Jerry
I guess they haven't
Jones.
gotten him
That's
yet.
such a Jerry Jones move, the Cooper Kupp thing, because
He's old.
it's one of those guys that
good
has
name.
killed you over the years. Like he's been great in the NFC for so many years. You've seen him multiple times, and like you're gonna make this move for him as this is the guy next to CD. But like you said, I think Cooper Kupp's still probably a good player.
Cold.
He's
cold
good.
for
You're right.
sure.
Like he was good this past year, but he's older. Like it's such a Cowboys move. It's just like, let's try to put a group together for this year and win a Super Bowl, which is not going to happen. And then Cooper Kupp's going to be on your roster. He's going to be old.
Crusty.
Like Zeke Elliott was.
Crusty.
Yeah, it's just I don't know,
Crusty
man.
Cowboys. Double C's.
It has got to
You see that?
suck.
We're going to call them double C's. The Crusty Cowboys.
It's got to suck to be a
That's for
fan
you,
of
Vernon.
Dallas sports right now, man.
Hey.
Could you imagine?
You probably are depressed as hell. By the way, but those comments, bro, doing that in public, by the way, when DeMarcus Lawrence says that, bro, that's deeper than rap.
Yeah.
Translation, Bennett, it's deeper than the words on the tweet. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
I
Yeah,
want to make sure it didn't.
runs
Okay.
deep.
I want to make sure it didn't go over there. That's
No,
deep.
I got you.
Okay. It's deeper than just like the tweet. I think there's some stuff going on around there, bro. Like it's not just like the tweet. I think like Micah might not be the best person to be like the leader of a defense. Like he's cold. He can hoop.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but like there's probably a reason why that team is so ass.
You want to
Right?
know my hot take? The team is so bad that I literally don't care about this drama.
Me either. I thought it was funny for Cowboys' sake.
It's funny, but like they're so irrelevant. Okay.
I mean,
Enjoy
they're
your
not
little
because it's the
back and forth.
Cowboys. They're
No,
always
they are, and it's time that we stop doing this.
Okay.
Because everybody, this starts popping off, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the first take producers."
Oh, no, they
go.
were
I'm
salivating.
like, why?
That was
Why do we keep
That's
why?
fair.
There is so much more interesting drama.
Well, I think
across
this
all
is the
sports.
argument with the NBA too. Where-
Yes.
I mean, it's way bigger in the NBA, where it's just like you always find a way to talk about the Lakers or the Warriors, right? Which we did in the
Especially
last
the
segment.
Lakers.
But
No, but I'll say I'm glad we talked about Steph because I was watching the morning shows and they led with the Lakers game, and Steph hit his 4,003 last night. Like if you're gonna, I get it. The Warriors get a lot of attention too.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a little absurd to lead with the Lakers.
No, that's the
game on a
lead,
night
right?
when that
History was
happened. I
made.
thought it
You're
was
right.
odd.
Come on, y'all.
You're right.
What are priorities? I feel you, JB. Like, what are we like?
are we
Cowboys
doing?
beef. Good for y'all. Y'all suck.
Yeah.
You guys
You
enjoy
just
it. The rest of
validated
us
how
don't need to care.
Yeah, we don't care about y'all being terrible. Vernon, that's for you. Double C's, Crusty Cowboys. I'm gonna get you a
Damn.
shirt with that on it.
damn.
Crusty Cowboys.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that as the Cowboys drama continues.
By the way,
Yeah.
Bennett, you brought up your scrappy team, and somebody did bring up the chat. That means that we suck low key.
Oh, we're gonna suck. I mean,
Like usually when somebody talk about how scrappy somebody is,
Yeah.
not how talented they are.
the thing is, the division ain't that great, so that's the only thing going in our favor. So we'll see.
You gonna get
All
you
right.
who do you want, Cam Ward or Shador?
Okay, so I've always wanted Shador, but like they're gonna take Cam Ward. I mean, nobody's got Shador going in like the top 5. So I think they're gonna go Cam, and I could talk myself into, brother. I've talked myself into a Titans quarterback forever.
You talk yourself into Jake Locker, huh?
Yeah. So
and Zach Mettenberger.
I do like Shador though. I will be sick to my stomach if Cam is not as good as Shador. I'll tell you that
who
much.
else you talk himself into, JB? What's that dude? The Will Levis. You talked yourself into a lot.
Well, he's still on the team, man. He's going to be competing for that starting job.
You talked yourself into a lot of
Not
shit.
really. Yeah, I have. All right, that was depressing. Okay, we'll come back. We'll do GP's Carry Out. You're listening to the Gary Parrish Show on Grind City Media.
Debo traded from San Francisco to the Commanders for a 5th round pick. There's no other sport where you would get a player of his ilk for a 5th round pick.
Over under total yards for Debo. If they set it at 1,000, you think he hits that over?
Total yards?
Total yards from scrimmage, total yards.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Durant. Oh! Well, you want wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans, and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing in FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering, to those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Double your chances to win all month long in March with 2 big promotions. On Fridays, embrace the madness and win a share of $150,000 in cash and free play. On Saturdays, starting March 8th, go for the gold and win your share of up to $10,000 in cash and free play in the 80K Fool's Gold giveaway. Enjoy live entertainment all month long and play for your chance to win big in March only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 or up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Welcome back to the Gary Parrish Show. Bennett Doyle hosting today. Got Devin Walker and Jessica Benson here in studio with me inside the Built Ford Tough studio. Let's wrap this thing up with GP's carryout. Or Bennett's carryout. It's my carryout, damn it.
Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take
Curbside
with you.
only be
It's
doing,
not
right?
everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
We learned it's a massive weekend for the local teams. Tigers tip off against Wichita State coming up at noon in the AAC tournament quarterfinal. And then tonight right here in this building, Grizzlies-Cavs. Cavs coming in this building on a 15-game winning streak. We know no Donovan Mitchell tonight. For the Grizzlies, though, it looks like there's a chance Jaren Jackson Jr. could return. He's questionable on the injury report, so we'll check the status of that later. And then, of course, tomorrow night, we've got the big Tony Allen jersey retirement ceremony. We mentioned that the first 5,000 fans are going to get one of those awesome vinyl records, so get here early and make sure to stay in your seats after the game for the big ceremony. Like I said, first two were a blast with Zebo and Mark, so don't expect this one to be any different tomorrow night for TA.
What's today's biggest game?
Okay, so for our purposes, it's obviously the Grizzlies and the Tigers. But for tonight's pick, let's go with, we talked about this one earlier. Let me pull it up. It's going to be Texas and Tennessee in the SEC tournament quarterfinal. Tennessee's a 10.5-point favorite over the Texas Longhorns tonight. And I think I'm going to roll with the Longhorns to cover.
Really?
Oh.
You're
Yeah.
gonna go with the other
Well, they're
UT.
hot. They're hot, right? And this is the time of year that Rick Barnes' teams always collapse.
The Battle of UT. No, they usually do it in the NCAA tournament. They save themselves for the
They
big
save
game.
themselves for the big one.
This is the
They'll do
small
okay
game.
in
This
this
is the appetizer of the Tennessee basketball. They save their fail for the big tournament.
I just think there's something too, like in these conference tournaments, teams kind of getting hot, and like maybe you have some of the bigger programs looking towards the NCAA tournament. So I think this one's closer than 10.5. I'm gonna go Texas. Okay. What do you guys think? Y'all don't care. Y'all didn't like my biggest game pick. Yeah, sorry.
Well, I will say it is a night of biggest games. Like the slate
This
of
is
college
actually a
basketball
2:30
tonight,
game. I said tonight.
Whatever. That's the entire day. This
Yeah.
entire day of games is awesome. Like
BYU,
every game down the
Houston,
schedule.
Missouri, Florida,
St. John's, Marquette.
Yeah.
Maryland,
Kentucky,
Illinois.
Alabama. It's a crazy good day of games, right?
Look, man, college basketball, we here, baby. This is the time of year I learn about stuff.
Maryland, Illinois.
Shout out
Duke,
Louisville,
UNC,
by the way.
which doesn't have the same juice it did. But now without Cooper Flagg, like does North Carolina sneak a win over Duke?
Yeah, and GP said that Hubert Davis probably returns next year if they win this game against Duke. I mean, it's like the biggest rivalry in college basketball.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Does it count if he beats them without Cooper Flagg though?
Does it count if the Grizzlies beat the Cavs without Donovan Mitchell? Yes.
Oh, you were right
Yes,
about that. My bad,
it counts.
You're right.
You're right.
Shout out
It
Elliot Cadill.
Still counts.
Shout out my dog.
All right.
What are we watching on TV?
All right, what are we watching on TV? I mean, watch college basketball, obviously. We were talking about SmackDown in the break. SmackDown's in Barcelona tonight. We're going overseas.
We're going overseas with it. We're across the pond. Is that what they say?
Yes.
Say across the pond. You got Cody Rhodes doing Miss TV.
So Cena's going to be there tonight,
So
we think.
he's not on the bill, but, at this point.
Because I remember
we got to keep setting up this story, B-Dog. It's been 2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks, and when they were promoting this European trip, like his face was all over it. This was a couple weeks ago, and so you would think
We need Cena.
he'd be a part. Yeah, we need Cena.
I love this. I don't know if Roman will be there because Roman did a hell of a job on Monday, but you got that. You're doing Miss TV. You got RKO versus Melo. You got Charlotte Flair versus B-Fab. And this is the one I'm looking forward to, Benedoyo.
What we got?
The Street Profits versus DIY. You ask me, why am I looking forward to it? This heel Street Profits run, for me, in the short term, it's been amazing. I think WWE needs a tag team. They're struggling in the tag team division.
These are the only two real ones, right?
These are the only real tag teams we
Right.
have, bro. So I need Street Profits to win this title tonight, go on a run to set up a WrestleMania match. Because where the real tag teams at? They don't make the Hardy Boys no more. They don't make the Dudley Boys no more. They don't make the Edge and Christians anymore.
Okay, so what's up with the Hardy Boys? They're in TNA, but TNA has this deal with WWE, which is why they were able to wrestle
on NXT.
But if they were able to wrestle on NXT, couldn't you bring them up? And there was hints that they might bring them up for like main roster WWE matches.
I think they're doing the whole we're trying to groom no Cal Filipowski. The next generation of tag teams.
God, I forgot.
Next generation of tag teams, right?
God.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're trying to groom the next generation of tag teams that kind of really show, because there's, like I said, there's no legitimate tag teams in the WWE. So I think they're backstage, they're working, but I don't think they won't be on the main roster yet. But I think soon.
I'd love to see the Hardy
Street Profits,
Boys back.
let's go, bro. Win these titles tonight.
Let's go.
What's the best thing we've read?
We talked about TA's jersey retirement tomorrow. I'd go read Chris Harrington's series over at the Daily Memphian. It's titled The Birth of Grit and Grind, How Tony Allen Completed the Grizzlies. It's really great, just chronicling that whole time in Grizzlies history. Chris was actually up here the other day interviewing TA for the story, so highly recommend checking that one out. It's over at dailymemphian.com.
And if you want to watch something, watch the Tony Allen documentary.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet.
Our amazing video team, Michael Levins and his crew, smashed that doc. It's over 100K on YouTube right now. Y'all go watch that, man. Get your tissue with it too.
What's on tap next week?
Well, Monday's going to be a massive show. Grizzlies coming off a big weekend. Bracket's going to be set. It's tournament week. We're going to have like a tournament special, aren't we? We're going to have like a tournament special coming up next week.
Allegedly.
So yeah, be tuned to Grind City Media. We'll have all the coverage for you.
Here, don't worry. Show up.
You'll be here. Yeah, you're part
it's
of it.
so that we're all off by the time the games come on.
Tight. I'm with it.
We'll have it all next week. GP going to be back. We'll break it all down. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me today.
Thank you for inviting us,
We appreciate you.
It's always good to hang out with our friends with great beards.
I'm glad to know we're friends. And be back here Monday, 10 a.m. right here on Grind City Media. You've been listening to The Gary Parrish Show. Appreciate y'all.